Hold on, Hess. Yeah. What's up? Nah, I'm in this Madden game and I got like fucking.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Keenum eluding the pressure right. And that's the first NFL catch for Cortland Sutton.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it, the tight end Jeff Heuerman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
The first NFL carry here for the rookie Royce Freeman. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Now Keenum throwing on second. Flush to his right. Fights loose. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Keenum going to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here's Keenum. It's the first touchdown pass as a Bronco. Right first here on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
36 power, 19.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
These Broncos coming off 2 years of not making the playoffs after winning Super Bowl 50. And last year in Vance Joseph's first season, they went 5-11, had an 8-game losing streak. Now, look, the defense remained elite. But the quarterback carousel, the general lack of offensive production really led to a disappointing 2017.
And in order for them to reverse that, they've got to continue to play to their strength, which is their defense. And they did that by drafting Bradley Chubb at number 5 overall, the defensive end out of North Carolina State. Gives them extra pass rushers. But on offense, they made a peace offering to their defense by signing Case Keenum at quarterback. That should calm down that position and open up possibilities on the offensive side of the ball.
2nd and 10. Keenum here again. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Going for the deep ball. He's got it with the 15. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. A big play there for the Broncos on 3rd. 41 yards. Keenum looking very much at ease at the helm of this Denver offense. They've got it 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Stand down.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
On third down, it's Lindsey, and he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. And McManus able to put it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's the first NFL carry for Rashad Penny, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
One of the surprises of the first round, the Seattle Seahawks selected running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the 2nd round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
When you spend your first-round pick on a pass rusher, you are absolutely counting on him to be an impact player. And there you go. Right away, he gets to the quarterback.
And guess what? Likely the first of many that we're going to see from that young man. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
14.
They go play action with Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
19.
From the gun, it's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, How does that happen, that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Penny will try to punch it in. That is touchdown number 1 of the NFL career of former Aztec Rashad Penny, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing now is Keenan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on. Well.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to the back end.
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season. tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Keenum to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
We got three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this.
Let's go.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Throw taken in by Taylor left side. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Let's go.
From the red zone, it's Keenum. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Play action. Now Wilson. And now he'll tuck it to the run. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now, as they come up on second and a couple. Here's Keenum now on second down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing is Keenum on third down. Flushed out right. And he's got Hireman. Escapes the defender. That one goes for 24 yards. They go play action here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sanders. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Keenum now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. From the gun, it's Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on second and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On third and one, Wilson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Penny, a first down carry. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. J.D. McKissick, 28 yards. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Out to kick is Janikowski. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Keenum again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Off play action. Keenum. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. On first down, Keenum. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Keenum to throw again. Flush to his right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Good. Tempo.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Even though that one was incomplete, you could see the training that went into that play. He gets out of the pocket, ends up moving to his right. All he's trying to do, though, extend the life of the play. Keep it alive, hoping someone would pop free.
Was able to take a pretty good shot with a deep ball, but incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Keenum. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
95, 19.
On second down, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Keenum. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They begin with a run by Penny. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Tempo.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final.
Let's go work. Hey, over here. Gotta go.
On second down, here's Penny. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively to keep third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I think it's pretty easy to say this is a ginormous third down opportunity here for the defense. And I'm just going to tell you, Brandon, from my experiences, what you're saying in the huddle to each other is, all the right things. Read your keys. Do your job. But the biggest one, you don't have to do more. Just do what you can do, and you can make this play.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. And even 50 yards on the ground. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1. And this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Down.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Hey, go, Roger.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Hey, orange!
Keenum to throw on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Keenum. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Matt LaCosse, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tom Davis. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A very solid gain of 27. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd? And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged, maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jaron Reed coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw is Keenum. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Now Keenum. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Hey, 22. 22. Down, down.
Keenum. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition, Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Now a play fake here on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this. Overtime in week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done. Now part 2. They go read option with Wilson. And a short pickup here as he'll get up to about the 22-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll go again with McKissick. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal is from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Seahawks, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Denver, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders.